you are part of a very small percentage that understands that. So you are part of maybe 5% of the world that actually has an understanding of the solution to the world's central problems. And this is something that, whether you put it in those terms or not, is something that keeps you awake at night. It's something that you find incredibly important. It's something that bothers you. And it's part of your drive for an integral consciousness. And this will show up in all sorts of different ways. You want integral medicine. You want integral politics. You want integral law. You want integral education. And anything less than that leaves you feeling fragmented, broken, not comprehensive. And you know better than that. You know that you can find a way to be comprehensive. You know you can find a way to be holistic. You know you can find a way to be inclusive. And this includes your spiritual practices. It includes your healthcare practices. It includes your educational practices. And so this is the good news and bad news, that you, riding the leading edge of evolution, face. And it's difficult. When people first hit integral, they first read a book about integral, they first get it. And if you're at this one of the integral stages, if you're at second tier, if you're at vision logic, if you're at centaur, if you're at teal, if you're at yellow V-meme, if you're at turquoise, any of those stages, you are going to pick up a book on integral, and it's going to really speak to you. You're going to go, I get this, I understand this, this makes sense, I know this. I've known this for a long time. This is a very real item for me. And so it is important because it also makes sense of the world. There is the integral approach actually has room for everything. And so there truly is a understanding everything, a place for everything, seeing a place for everything, understanding a place for everything. And yet simultaneously being very, very lonely in that understanding. And try to talk to your friends about it, and they get that glazed over look in their eyes. If you want them to try and maybe read some of this stuff, and maybe you get my books, like a half dozen of my books, and come running at them, and every time they see you coming, they kind of run the other way. It's like, oh no, here he comes with all those Wilbur things. That's the hard part. It is very, very lonely at the top. And part of what we want to do is create places like this, where at the very least you can come and feel that you don't have to explain yourself to your friends. You can come and simply be relaxed. You can talk about integral and integrative and truly holistic and truly comprehensive ideas and not get that glazed over look. And this is very important for really your own soul. It's really important to have a place to go where you can just relax, where you can let your hair down, where you can be at home with those who essentially understand your awareness. They understand the fullness of what you are going through. And they understand the difficulty, the extreme loneliness of being in that position. And so on the one hand, you think, well, gosh, I'm on the leading edge of evolution, aren't I swell? I'm smart and bright and way ahead of the times and all of that. And incidentally, it's okay to think that. The problem is, nobody else understands what you're talking about. And that's what's so very, very sad, very, very difficult. And again, one of the reasons that we want to try to create a nationwide network of integral centers where you can go and relax and hang out and meet people that understand you and that you do not have to explain yourself to. This has happened, again, about maybe 5, 6 times at the most in the history of humanity, where there has been fundamental transformations in consciousness. And individuals are caught up in that. And they're having to learn new ways of acting in this new environment. And again, it's not bragging. It's a simple truth that you have to invent new rules for the gifted. You have to come up with ways to interact, knowing you're at the leading edge of evolution, but not being braggadocio about it, not holding it up as some great, big, profound accomplishment for reasons that none of us understand, including developmental psychologists. All of us here have this interest and this gift and this capacity to be integrally oriented. And that is an extraordinary, extraordinary fact. And it, of course, is changing your life and will continue to change your life. And one of the best things that we can do is huddle together and create these new rules for the gifted. And that means humility, and that means compassion, and that means care and concern and service. But all of these are factors that go into having a new way to interact with your fellow human beings while there is this new transformation occurring on the face of the planet. And so I just want to really thank all of you for coming out, and because it shows that you are motivated by a desire to understand this. You're motivated by a desire to find a new way of living. Literally, a new way of living is being created. And 5 times in humanity's history this has happened. And for better or worse, you're the 6th. And that is astonishing. It's astonishing. And to have all of you basically have the courage to step into that is amazing. And my hat is off to all of you.